What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Duga, coming at y'all with another episode of Drop It Downs with Mr. Duga. And today I'm going to take a look at, preview, and predict the AFC North Division for this upcoming NFL season. Before I get into this video, man, for anyone, if you want to drop a dollar on the Cash App information is down in the description box. Also, if you want to follow me on social media, that information is down in the description box. If you're a subscriber to the channel, greatly appreciate the love and support. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification button, like the video, and share it with your folks. AFC North, man. Boy, this is a tough division, man. They ain't lying when they call this the black and blue division, man. This division tough. Taking a look, first looking back last year, the Baltimore Ravens won the division. Lamar Jackson, man, was second in the MVP voting. Great season, man. 4,000 yards passing. I think he had 800 yards rushing. I want to say he was the first player in NFL history to do that. Big year for him, but I think the biggest addition to them was Derrick Henry coming in and had well over 1,800 yards rushing. I thought he would make an impact on that team, and he did. He brought a level of physicality to the Baltimore run game. Because when you look at them in the past, with all due respect to the running backs they've had in the Lamar Jackson era, Derrick Henry was by far head and shoulders the best one they was gonna have. So I thought the running game would even increase. Zay Flowers had a big year, was a Pro Bowler, though he was injured unfortunately for their playoff run. And defensively, they started off slow, but Baltimore Ravens, they gonna play good defense, and the defense picked up the second half of the year. Beat up on Pittsburgh in the wild card round, but then lost a heartbreaker to Buffalo in the divisional round. Then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers last year with a musical chairs situation at quarterback. Justin Fields started the year. I thought he did okay. You know what I'm saying? They were 4-2. Now, did he look at like the most ethical passer of the football? No, he didn't. But he got the job done, and he was very, very dangerous with his legs. But Mike Tomlin decided to make the move, went with Russell Wilson, and at first they looked it great. They won, went on a winning streak. They was at top the AFC North, and then they rolled into Philly to play my Eagles, and it just wasn't the same for them after that. They lost every game the rest of the year after that, as they just completely nosedived. Russell Wilson turned back into a pumpkin, and their season ended at their arch rival Baltimore, of all places for them. But last year, solid season. Like I said, the quarterback situation, the situation with George Pickens. One week he looks like a surefire future Hall of Fame, and one week he looks like a little immature kid. So they did what they did this off season, and you still the defense was good, was solid, was decent. The addition of Patrick Queen, he came in and made some things happen, but just like the offense, the defense faltered down the stretch as well. Cincinnati Bengals last year, Joe Jambalaya, Joe Burrow, my guy, being an LSU fan, led the NFL in passing. I think passing yards and passing touchdowns. Jamar Chase, LSU Tiger as well, led the league in receiving yards. Went the Triple Crown guy, but T. Higgins was in and out the lineup, but when he was out there, he did good. But they couldn't stop a nosebleed last year. The defense was horrendous, considering how explosive the offense was, especially the passing offense. The defense was horrendous, and that ultimately cost them a chance to make the playoffs. They nearly got in, but they just missed the playoffs, and they got the defense to blame for that. Then you look at the Cleveland Browns, yo. Man, Deshaun Watson, before the prayers for him with his Achilles situation, but before that Achilles situation, man, he just really looked like the Monstars took his football talents, man. He is not the same player he was when he was with the Houston Texans, and that's what Cleveland invested in. And unfortunately for them, that blew up in their face. Bad foot quarterback play until he had got injured, and then they basically tanked it, traded away Amari Cooper to the Buffalo Bills. And the defense was still okay, but it wasn't the number one defense it was the previous year. And yeah, they just had a terrible season, man. Typical Cleveland Browns season. For the majority of their new existence when they came back into the league. These are how most of the seasons went, with the exception of a couple of good seasons. Now looking into this year, looking at the Baltimore Ravens this season, look like they should supposed to be a contender again. They added Jair Alexander, which I was annoyed about as an Eagles fan because I wanted Jair Alexander. But shout out to my cousin Jamal, like he said, maybe Lamar go get Jair on Raising Canaan. Shout out to Lamar Jackson too. I seen him on the show Raising Canaan on Stars. Brief appearance, but I thought he did a good job. Considering what his role was. But Jair Alexander is the big addition to them. They added DeAndre Hopkins. I'm not sure how much he got left in the tank, but he at least gives them another tall, physical, experienced type receiver. You got him. Rashad Bateman just cashed in on a new deal, and you get back a healthy Zay Flowers. And like I said, the defense should be good again. Probably going to get off to a much better start this year than it did last year. Looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously the big story, they added Aaron Rodgers to the mix. Look, if you could get the Aaron Rodgers that played most of his time in Green Bay, Pittsburgh got a real shot to do some things. I still think they need a number two receiver. There's reports that they're looking at Gabe Davis. I feel like Amari Cooper could be an option. Uh, they traded away George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys. They felt like his immaturity was just too much to overcome. I would have liked to see him and DK as a 1-2 punch with Aaron Rodgers personally, but Pittsburgh felt it wouldn't worth the trouble, and they brought in DK Metcalf from Seattle, who's obviously an accomplished receiver up to this point. And we're gonna see how he works well with Aaron Rodgers. And then defensively, they just made a huge trade the other day. They brought in Jalen Ramsey. They brought in Jonnu Smith at tight end. They traded away Minka Fitzpatrick. My uncle Tim, who is the biggest Steeler fan I know since my uncle Charlie, who passed away a few years ago, he wasn't a fan of the trade. He liked what Minka Fitzpatrick brought to the team when he feels like Jalen Ramsey's a drama queen, and I can't say I disagree with him. But Jalen Ramsey is talented. Jonnu Smith was a Pro Bowl tight end last year. You add him with Fire Mood, and now you got more of a two tight end set with DK. Running back situation, they're going to depend mostly on a rookie and my guy Gainwell. Defensively, they're going to have to figure out the TJ Watt situation. He wants a new deal. There was some reports that they may trade him, but we're gonna see what happens. Then Cincinnati this season, look, the receivers, though Jamar Chase played pretty damn good as a pissed off receiver last year, looking for a new deal. He got his deal. T. Higgins got their deal. Look, Burrow, Jambalaya Burrow, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, they all happy. They all got their money, but this ain't high school. You ain't gonna have your top receiver going out there playing cornerback. Your top two receivers both playing corner, and Burrow ain't gonna go out there and play safety. Unless one of them decide they want to become Travis Hunter, they still gonna have to do something with the defense. And then they got this situation with their first round pick, Shamar Stewart, who possibly made it. It's a chance may not even play for them this season. As crazy as that sounds. And then the Cleveland Browns, man, is honestly are just a mess right now. They don't know their quarterback situation. Me personally, I feel like Shador Sanders should be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns at some point. But his ass got to stop speeding. As long as he stops speeding and stay out of trouble, I think he got a real shot to end up being the starting quarterback of this job. This team took Dylan Gabriel in the third round and Shador in the fifth round, which I thought was the stupidest thing any team did in the whole entire draft. But we'll see. Shout out to Kenny Pickett, former Eagle, who's over there now. I think he's going to start the season as the starter, and Joe Flacco will be like the emergency backup. And I think slowly but surely they're going to end up transitioning it over to Shador. Miles Garrett said he wanted to get the hell out of town until they gave him money to shut up. So yeah, man, they got that situation going on. But we're gonna see what happens, man. We're gonna see what happens. They got a lot of things to figure out. Now, as far as my prediction, look, man, I'm not gonna make this suspenseful. The Baltimore Ravens going unless, and I'm assuming everybody gonna be healthy. Of course, teams have injuries, but if everybody healthy, man, the Baltimore Ravens gonna win this division again. They the most talented team in this division, and they got the best quarterback in this division and the best running back. So I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens to win the AFC North. Second is a toss up between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. But you know what? I'm gonna go Pittsburgh, man. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. I just think Cincinnati has too much holes on the roster. Besides the quarterback and the two receivers, I don't love their running game. I obviously don't like their defense, though I get it. They got a new coordinator, but I still don't think they got good personnel defensively. So I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. They're a more complete team, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna be better than what Russell Wilson was. You would think, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go Pittsburgh second. I'm gonna go Cincinnati third, and the Cleveland Browns go finish last in the division. Man, they don't have nowhere near. They may knock one of these teams off for a game, just to kind of throw a monkey wrench into things, but they're gonna be the last place team in the division. So I got the Baltimore Ravens winning the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in second, the Cincinnati Bengals coming in third, and the Cleveland Browns finishing last. But with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I have Philadelphia Eagles, NFL, and content on my other teams throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Fly Eagles fly.